Hello, everybody. This is Isaac Murrer on the other side of the camera, and in front of you is our darling friend Erica. Erica has an amazing testimony that she's going to share with y'all. Erica, just some weeks ago, or maybe 2.5 months or so ago,
January 2nd.
January 2nd, I introduced, or you got into our business. Was it on January 2nd?
I started on January 2nd.
Okay, so the week before,
You introduced
I introduced the product to you. You were at that home meeting with
Exactly.
Pastor James. Okay.
Exactly.
And what was your existing condition at the time that you saw the opportunity and the presentation of the product?
Okay. I am type 2 diabetic, but insulin dependent. I have a diabetic ulcer on my right foot, the right heel, under the sole. And I also have Charcot in my left foot. For those that don't know what Charcot is, the arch of the foot literally drops. And because of the high sugars, the bones are literally softened. So the arch drops, and then it inverts inward, making it very painful.
I was about to say that sounds very painful.
Disaligned, correct.
Okay.
So that is the state I was at the time of the meeting.
How long in years were you suffering this condition?
I had Charcot in 2012. That's when it came about. Now, I've been gravitating towards high sugars for some years. Both my parents are diabetic. Diabetes runs in our family.
I see.
So I've had high sugars here and there, but I've used natural elements, substances to keep it under bay. But in 2012, actually starting in 2010, none of the natural substances were being effective.
Okay. What is, pardon my interruption, what is your background? What's your expertise, your business, your employment? What is it that you do?
My profession
Your
is,
profession.
I am a home infusion pharmacist, and I've been doing that. I've been a pharmacist since '94, and I've been home infusion directly, consecutively for the last 3 years.
Therefore, when you started to see the presentation that night, back in late December, and I mentioned to you that Laminine was in the PDR, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you went and did your research. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
And you researched it for how long?
Roughly 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Looking into everything as far as medical resources, medical references, pharmaceutical resources and references. And I found nothing inadequate. Everything was up to par. All the clinical trials were clear in their information. And it was not only in PDR 1 year,
Okay.
but 2 years in a row,
Come
which
on now.
impressed me very greatly.
Wonderful. All righty. So you finally was convinced because you saw that the information was accurate. The same way I presented to you that night. You also spoke with Dr. Toro on the phone there, and of course that also helped, I guess, making your decision.
Yes.
So how long now have you been taking Laminine and Laminine Omega? How long?
I started on January 2nd. And I have to share this, Pastor Isaac.
Go ahead.
On Saturday, that was a Saturday. The 2nd was a Saturday. In the month of January, we do a 20-day fast at our church. On Tuesday, we met in the evening, as we normally do through this 20-day fast. And normally by the evening time, my feet are hurting to the point where I can't stand more than 5 minutes at a time. We were standing in the prayer line, in the prayer group, in a circle, and having communion. The elements were being passed a good 20-25 minutes, and I did not have pain.
So you stood for nearly 25 minutes
With no pain.
with no pain.
On
Under normal
Tuesday.
conditions, you would not be able to stand for more than what?
5 minutes in the evening.
Because
like
your
that.
foot would begin to
It would
pound?
be hurt.
Okay.
It
Not
would-
only was that hole in your heel, that's the charcoal foot, but your ankle also was very swollen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so now it's been 6 weeks, 7 weeks, you were saying?
Yeah, it's today is the 21st of February. So, and the ulcer is noticeably healing. I don't want to show gory
Of
pictures.
course not. Yeah, yeah.
But there's a dramatic improvement. And I developed this ulcer March of 2015.
Wow.
So it's almost a year And it's not unusual for a diabetic to have a diabetic ulcer for 1, 2, up to 5 years even.
In some cases, that doesn't even heal, right?
No,
Wow.
and devastating alternative is amputation and even loss of life.
So in 7 weeks, almost 2 months now, taking the Laminine Omega, the ulcer has begun to seal. Is that correct?
Yes, and dramatically noticeable.
Praise God.
Noticeable.
Now, yesterday I heard a message that you got from your doctors. Tell our Facebook audience what your doctors, I guess you have a diabetic, yeah, okay,
Yes.
Go ahead. You know better than me.
Yes.
Go.
Well, starting from the 2nd, okay, we had that amazing thing on Tuesday. Then on Friday, my endocrinologist's office calls me and tells me to decrease my insulin at night.
Amazing.
Yes.
And then?
That's 7 days from the start. Then, roughly 2.5 to 3 weeks later, his office calls me again and tells me to decrease again my night insulin. And, not wonderful, but I take insulin 4 times a day.
Alrighty.
Okay? At each meal and at bedtime, which is a fast-acting kind of insulin. They told me to drop that as well.
Amazing. Now, what about the morning one?
Yesterday.
That's the one I want to get to.
Yesterday, for the first time, they called and left a message saying that I can decrease my morning insulin. That's 3 decreases in, 35, 40 days?
Amazing. So, therefore, Laminine and Laminine Omega is very effective with those who have diabetic conditions.
And that's what's documented in PDR, not once, but twice.
Praise God.
Studies. And, you know, the argument could be to some layman that, oh, you don't have enough people in that study, so forth and so on. But even though the study group were small, they had dramatic changes.
Absolutely.
And for the better.
Yeah. So. That may have been the case, but we have now thousands of people across the world experiencing the life-giving benefits that you have already began to experience in these weeks. So that's amazing. To close off this interview, Erica, just from your heart, what would you tell my Facebook audience that's going to see this video, is going to see you sharing your heart with them? What is your advice, please?
I strongly suggest you trying it. You can't go wrong. It works at the stem cell level. There's nothing else out on the market that you can get naturally, man-made, you know, pharmaceutical, whatever the choices may be. There's nothing else out there that works on that level. So I, as a diabetic, you as a hypertensive patient, cardiac patient, whatever the condition may be, this element will help you. And it's totally natural and no side effects. I'm a pharmacist. The ingredients that are used, I researched, that are used to produce this capsule, they don't interact with anything that's in the pharmaceutical industry right now. So it's totally safe, and you're only going to get good benefits health-wise.
Awesome. Well, Erica, thank you very much for your time and attention and giving me these few minutes of your time and, of course, sharing your heart with the public. I appreciate you, and the best of your years, my dear sister, have just begun.
Thank you, Pastor.
God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Had to get a little selfie in there. Okay, bye-bye.